Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the FCCJ. My name is Aaron Sheldrick. I work for Reuters. Today we continue our series of press conferences for candidates for the Tokyo governorship election on February 9 with Yoichi Masuzoe. Masuzoe-san, a scholar turned politician, is a former Diet member and minister. He is making his second attempt for the Tokyo governorship after a failed bid in 1999. Without further ado, we'll start this, although I just need to make a quick public service announcement, I guess you can call it. Yes. So let me read this out. For the journalists whose targeted audience is in Japan, please be aware of the Public Office Election Act, or Koushoku Senkyo Ho. We have no intention of favoring one candidate over another, and we're trying to invite as many candidates as possible, but there's a limit to what we can do. We thank you for your understanding and cooperation. I actually have two announcements more to make. Today, Masuzoe-san has kindly agreed to speak in English and take questions in English, our medium of our club. So please ask your questions in English. He will make a short speech and then take questions after about 20 minutes. And finally, please turn off your mobile phones. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheldrick, and good afternoon. Thank you very much for your invitation to this club. So I'd like to first of all very briefly explain my major policies. First of all, I'm really delighted that Tokyo has been selected as the host city of 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games. I'm hoping to work with all the people of Tokyo and Japan to create the most successful Olympic ever. Now, we are starting to see hopeful and glorious signs for the Japanese economy, which has remained stuck in deflation, as you know, for more than 20 years. I'm confident that I could show people from around the world what a wonderful city Tokyo is by the best 2020 Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games ever. However, we face several challenges as we try to improve Tokyo, the most attractive city in the world. One of them is how to deal with the risks of a destructive earthquake, which is anticipated to strike Tokyo sometime in the future. The 70% of probability in 30 years. In order to protect the lives and the prosperity of the people of Tokyo, I'll carry out a meticulous disaster preparedness plan and establish a crisis management system. I must do what I can for Tokyo to remain the safest city in the world, the most resilient city that can withstand any major natural disasters. The second point. What drove me toward politics, originally speaking, is that experience of caring my aged mother. This experience motivated me to reform the social security system, including nursing care, medical services, pensions, and employment. I will develop Tokyo a friendly place for parents with young children. While I was Minister of Health, Labor, and Welfare, I faced serious problems posed by the shortage of doctors, for example. To resolve this problem, I launched a policy of initiative to substantially increase the number of doctors. I also improved in the field of nursing care. However, there are still many. Okay, you hear me?
Can everyone hear Masuzoe?
Okay, no problem. However, there are still many pending problems child birth and child care and medical services, nursing care, employment, and pensions. There are all issues that are closely related to our everyday life. If I'm elected Tokyo governor, I will advance the further reform initiatives that I promoted while I was a minister. Security is another critical issue. To to improve Tokyo even more safe and comfortable place to live. I'll emphasize the importance of the community bonds and maintain Tokyo's position as one of the safest metropolitan cities in the world. Now, third point, as for the issues of energy supply, anyway, you would ask me many questions about this issue. So I'll beforehand I'll explain. I have visited Fukushima many times since the Great East Japan earthquake. We should seek for reducing our dependence on nuclear power. This is, I'm confident about that. For this, for this moment, the important thing is make every single possible effort to ensure the safety of nuclear plant. Electricity is essential to our everyday life, civilized life, if you like. And Tokyo is the largest consumer of electricity. As such, Tokyo owes much to Fukushima and Niigata. From both prefectures, we receive now, as you know, Fukushima just many stopped. From these prefectures, we receive electricity generated by nuclear power plants. I'm planning to raise the proportion of renewable energy in Tokyo's energy consumption. Now it's only 6%, from 6% to 20%. As a user of electricity, all of us should make efforts to reduce our dependence on nuclear power. Now, number 4, Japan is about to pull out of a prolonged economic stagnation, while Japanese economy has faced increasingly intense international competition. Unless it pushes ahead with technological innovations and increase the productivity, Japan will lose out to other countries. Fortunately, in Tokyo, there are many companies, small-sized or medium-sized, who possesses world-class technologies and talents. I'll take necessary policy measures so that those companies can prosper by making the most of their technologies and talents. I'll designate Tokyo as a special economic zone in cooperation with the Japanese government's National Strategic Economic Growth Area Program. Last year, the Parliament passed this bill about the National Strategic Special District. Let's make Tokyo this kind of special district, and I will cooperate very closely with Prime Minister Abe to, make some kind of challenges that government cannot do. For example, when I was a minister, I tried many reforms, but there are many barriers. But as a mayor, the mayor or governor of Tokyo, we can do much more advanced reforms than the national government. This is the point. Tokyo will become the frontier of world reform, setting an example for other regions across Japan. If we change Tokyo, we can change Japan and the world. Number 5, yes. There are many problems, but I'll stop my speech very briefly. Well, I'll make Tokyo the safe city, the most comfortable city, the most attractive city, the most leading city in the world. where all residents and the companies and the people can be proud of, proud of Tokyo. I hope to receive the support of all the people of Tokyo. Now, according to the many statistics, the ranking of the big cities of Tokyo, number 1 is London, 2, New York, 3, Paris, number 4, Tokyo. But I thought the other time New York always the number 1 city of the world. But after the London Olympic Games, London becomes number 1 city. So I studied at the University of Paris, and I have many friends in France and in Paris. But I say to my French friends, and living in Paris, just wait 6 years, we will become number 3, and we will be getting down to 4. And to New Yorkers, just wait 6 years, well, New York is becoming the number 2, and we are becoming number 2. And why not number 1 city of the world? This is my dream and the dream of the Tokyo people. And in order to achieve this goal, I'm running for this gubernatorial election. And I'm confident, and I hope that the people will support me. And now, please feel free to raise any questions as you like. And as far as I have to go back to the electoral campaign, and because a coalition of 2 former prime minister is working very hard. I'm just tiny minister of health and education, and labor. So I have to fight these big, the bosses. But anyway, I think you have approximately 40 minutes. So I invite you to give any, ask any question to me. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much for that, and thank you for being brief. Let it not be said that Masuzoe-san doesn't have ambitious ideals. So we'll go to questions. Again, please frame your questions in English, no speeches, and one question per person.
And please identify yourself.
And of course, identify yourself. Jimbo.
You come to, yeah.
I'm Teddy Jimbo with videonews.com. When you resigned from LDP in 2010, you have said in an interview that LDP had its day in Japanese history. 自民党の歴史的な役割は終わった。
Yes.
However, you have apologized for your past behavior to the LDP, and now you are backed by LDP. So my question is this. Is it that LDP has changed in such a way that it regained its historical mandate or responsibilities, or you have simply changed your opinion?
Thank you. Jimbo-san, first of all, I'd like to say, apologize is not the appropriate word. I proposed the package of my policies to every political parties, every organizations, every interest groups, and those who can support this paper, those who agree with my ideas, please come. So LDP came, as now this party is supporting me. Komeito, the same thing, and trade unions. Rengo, you understand Rengo, the big organization of trade unions, support me. Normally, this Rengo supports Democratic Party. So as far as gubernatorial election issues, Rengo sever the relation with Minshito Democratic Party. This is really exceptional. So what I mean is, I never asked to any organizations, what I did, just I propose the policies. Those who agree with me, please come. That's all. And, Jimbo-san, you yourself, you have changed in your long life. When you are young, very attractive and very dynamic, but still you are very, very attractive. Just think about major political leaders of LDP who remained always in LDP. You can see the pictures of my friends, of big leaders of LDP. But you said the word apologize. You understand the word tamamushiro in Japanese. We'd like to use very ambiguous word in diplomacy also. If you like to use apologize, okay, I don't care. I'm just looking for the future, not the past. And the happiness of the people, not the happiness of the political party. And every political party should change by their own effort to new goals. So I don't know if LDP has changed drastically or just, in a smaller size. Electorate the people will judge. So I'm not asking the people to judge me. If you cannot, they support me because of my ties with political parties or trade unions, you are free to vote as you like. But my major, concern is good policies. This is my answer.
So what's your opinion about LDP now? Haven't told me.
Well, there are many, many reforms that this party has made. But when I was in LDP, very simply speaking, the left wing of the LDP and the right wing of LDP, these two forces coexisted. And for example, I was chairman of the, I myself wrote the proposition of constitutional reform. At that time, I asked my colleagues of LDP, but there are many, many LDP members who are against changing Article 9 of the Constitution. I said, are you socialist or communist? But they are LDP. But those who would like to have the strong army and the collective security system, etc., I just, listen to both, parties, both groups. And I decided in Article 9 to create GA-gun. Now it is called Jieitai Self-Defense Forces. But GA-gun is just to change army, gun. But the second draft of the Constitution by LDP, from my well-balanced GA-gun to Kokubo-gun. So anyway, there are many changes. Very briefly speaking, there are many reforms that they made. But there remains many, many fields, organizations, and policies that has not changed since when I left the party. Okay? Thank you very much. My answer is too long? Okay.
That's fine. Thanks.
That's okay?
Yes.
Please.
Siegfried Knidl, freelancer from Germany.
From Germany?
From Germany,
Yes.
Rango supports you.
Yes.
But I guess this is a Tokyo chapter of Rango.
Yes, that's right.
And I think in the Tokyo chapter of Rango, the union of TEPCO plays a great role. do you happy with a pro-nuclear union supports your campaign, or what's your stance to nuclear power now in Japan?
Thank you very much. But you have to, examine how many unions are members of the Tokyo Rengo Tokyo, and for, Rengo. Greatest reason why this organization, supports me is they really, they were really happy with me when I was Minister of, Labor. For example, without me, under the period of Lehman shock, Japan should have more than 2.5 million unemployees. I fought, against the Keidan Ren and other forces to protect their jobs. And I say always, even now, 1/3 of the employees, if they're workers, as not permanent workers, just part-time salaries and so-called haken. How do you explain haken rodo?
Dispatch workers.
Dispatch, okay? Dispatch workers. I say this is not normal. This is my conviction. And we have not discussed anything about nuclear power. And as you know, Tokyo Electric Power is Denki Roren, trade unions of electricity, is one of the hundreds trade unions. You must understand that. And please convey to the people of the world that nuclear energy power problem is not the major issue between Rengo and myself. So this is really misunderstanding, I should say. Very sorry to say, but I'd like to say frankly. And of course, the case is LDP. This is Tokyo LDP who supports me. Tokyo Komeito supports me. Rengo Tokyo Tokyo Rengo supports me. But under these Tokyo branches of this organization, the main office, not officially, but substantially support me. That means, of course, even in the Rengo, I should say 10% of members of Rengo are still against LDP. The thing that I am supported by LDP, they don't support, even if the headquarters said, well, our organization supports Mr. Masuzoe, but splitter groups or these rather leftist groups never support me, even now. But I'm confident that, and I'd like to assure you that this is because of my policy concerning unemployment and protection of the workers, and I should say, under my ministership, the best bills of protecting the workers are passed. And under the Democratic Party's government, my reforms are really, this is behind the scene. So this is a major reason why Rengo support me, even severing the relation with the Democratic Party. It's because they said, all the head of the union said, we owe you much. That in this time, exceptionally, we should support you. So this is really misunderstanding. And even the, now the head of the Rengo Tokyo is, of course, the former worker of Tokyo electricity, but this is not major policy. You, if you'd like, later you can, I'd like to show the contract between Rengo Tokyo and myself. There is no word about nuclear plant energy program. All the unemployment, protecting the people, these policies of Deva. So please understand this point. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Bonjour, Monsieur Masuzoe.
Ça va? Ça fait
Oui.
longtemps qu'on a pas vu.
Bah, 20 years. Hein.
Oui.
English.
Allez-y.
Ah, non, mais Joël Legendre, RTL Broadcasting. Thank you for speaking in English and
Yeah,
sometimes
thank you.
in French.
Yeah, just to save the time, yeah.
Yeah, and as I can see, when you studied in Paris, you have certainly acquired there a symbol of carefulness
Yes.
in policies.
Yes.
I listen to you and I feel a bit of ambiguity. I mean, I don't know exactly where you are. And I suppose it's because you are a conservative. That's what you told me 20 years ago when you were in Todai. I said, yes, I'm a conservative, and I will remain a conservative. Then we saw you in scandals, in magazines, in TV. So you were not really a conservative.
This
you
is
were,
a tabloid, huh?
Yeah. You were very up to date. And my impression is that today you are obliged to give in to the LDP because you're obliged to please the establishment, and you're going to have a policy of status quo. And your message appears a little bit fuzzy compared to Koizumi. So my question is, how afraid are you today of Mr. Koizumi, who has sent a very simple and very clear message to his candidate he's supporting, Mr. Hosokawa? Are you afraid of Mr. Koizumi?
Very delicate questions. I don't know that I can say frankly, but this is such a great club of for foreign correspondents. I'd like to say, I just propose my policies, and I ask the people, voters, just examine the policies and compare policies of all the candidates. And if you think mine is the best, please vote me. That's all. So I don't care. One prime minister, two prime minister, even the 100th prime minister. I don't care at all. I am, Masuzoe Yoichi, tiny former minister of social welfare. But, point is policies. Well, I'd like to ask Mr. Hosokawa or Koizumi if you like. How do you manage this Tokyo metropolitan government? I just walked this morning. All shops of Tsukiji, 400 to 500, knocked every shops. And I listened to now Toyosu problem and how to create new area in Tsukiji. I listened to, and I promised them, well, please, vote for me. When I become the governor, I'll solve this problem, and etc. So that's this is my policy style. But when Mr. Koizumi 2005, the single issue politics, when he was a minister in 2005, single issue politics is the privatization of Japanese Post, but I don't like the single issue politics and the populist policies. But this kind of scandals or etc. This tabloid, maybe I was considered as one of the big populists, but as a matter of fact, I don't like my political style is not such a populist style. When I was a minister, 57,000 officials are working, bureaucrats are working in my ministry. And as you know, the pension, the Medicare, and the labor, etc., many bunch of problems. And the swine flu, came. And from China, poison to gyoza came. And there are a bunch of problems. I asked all the people working in my office, I mean ministry, work with me and step by step solve the problems. And I listen to the both parties. For example, one issue, pro and the con. And I said, well, I listened to very carefully 2 months what you said, but I'll decide what is my responsibility. So once I made one decision, because of the long deliberation of the issues, very quick solution could have been done. So if I become governor of Tokyo, I will continue this political style of mine. But the point is, you are here, Japanese press are here, I have to make some appeals. So you consider me, maybe you may consider as a populist, but I make maximum use of your media. Of course, this is the modern democracy. Thank you very much.
A combative answer. Please.
Daniel Leusink, het Financiële Dagblad, the financial paper from Holland.
Dutch.
Dutch.
Yeah, yes.
I've been based in Japan since 2007. Welcome, former minister.
Thank you.
Japan changed its target for reducing greenhouse gases from a 25% decrease to an increase of 3% compared to 1990 levels. So an increase instead of a decrease. What's your opinion on this new target, and in what way can Tokyo play a role in the reduction of greenhouse gases?
I'd like to reduce the CO2 and having the best environmental situations. But problem is, as you know, the nuclear plant, all nuclear plants have stopped, and we have to import bunch of the petroleum from abroad. And I understand, as a matter of fact, reality is that. But I'd like to reduce the gases. So if I'm elected governor, I'm not the prime minister. So what we can do in Tokyo is, as I mentioned, increase renewable energy, green energy, if you like. So, for example, one idea is just give the subsidies to the people in order that they can have the solar panels on the roofs. And this, I can do that. And now I'm just checking there are many waters, small water turbines that you can make, or biomass, many. I will start these researches, and all Tokyo people make much effort to increase the natural energies in the percent of all the energy from 6% to 20%. So that 6 and 20, 14% we can, reduce the dependency of nuclear plant, and as you said, the improve our environment. I'll do, as a governor of Tokyo, all the best. And of course, I'll propose to the government, for example, this is not good. And I am the feeling that as Prime Minister, maybe he have to increase a little bit the percent, as you said. But in the longer time, I'd like to reduce. This is my point. Okay.
Sorry, can I just ask, over what period would you like to reach that target of 20% renewable for Tokyo?
It depends on many factors. But at least, if I can do it, I need time, because in December, Mr. Inose resigned, and I'm now the candidate. I have not sufficient time to say correctly, to answer correctly your answer. But in the first 10 years, in 4 years, I have to do something. Not directly 20% in 4 years, but at least 10% or more. So this just wait for several months. I'd ask experts and I'd check all the facilities that Tokyo government possesses, and I draw a conclusion. But even if you decide that if there is some kind of technological innovations or some kind of good news from abroad, we can change this schedule. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Anthony Rowley, Singapore Business Times. Some people argue that the Tokyo Olympics is going to be an extravaganza, which Japan can't afford given its precarious fiscal situation, and that it will or could divert resources, financial resources, human resources, construction industry resources, from cleaning up the mess in Tohoku. How do you respond to these criticisms, or do you think that the Olympics can be self-financing and will not, in fact, divert resources from them?
You know, Tokyo government is very rich government, and we have no dependency on national government, and we have some fund to prepare the Tokyo Olympic Games 2020, and you just mentioned the problems of Tohoku area. Our people are excellent to accept increase of the taxes for 10 or 20 years, so that we have bunch of money to help the Tohoku region. The problem is I went to this area several times, many times, but the effectiveness of government to implement reconstruction and making new houses too slow. If I were Prime Minister, I could do that more quickly. This is the hope of the people. This is not a question of money and fiscal problem. Effectiveness of the government, especially under the Democratic Party's government. That's really unbelievable for me. So this is not a fiscal problem. And as I mentioned, I'd like to make this Tokyo strategic national special area. And I'd like to reduce the regulations by the national government. We are independent, almost independent government. And if I'd like to change the national regulation, I'll ask my former colleagues of MPs and Prime Minister just change. Not on the government, but senators or the that members anyway can propose a bill. And let's change the very old-fashioned regulations. And if Tokyo becomes a very prosperous city, only Tokyo can play the role of the locomotive. We have many 46 trains, wagons before us. Locomotive Tokyo should work very hard, and I am confident that we can make this successful, and let's become rich, and let's help with our money those devastated areas of Tokyo, Tohoku. And Tokyo Olympic Games is not only the fiscal, you just mentioned fiscal point, that is very good. But not only the fiscal point of view, there are many points of view to give the hope and the willingness to the people to work hard. This is the best period, and I'm very happy with this, the decision of IOC to select Tokyo as the 2020 Olympic Games city. If you look back to the Japanese history, always Gaia's Western shock, foreign pressure, is a trigger of the reform of Japanese society. Commandant Perry, the mid of 19th century, from Tokugawa period to Meiji Restoration. And 1945, General MacArthur came, occupation by the by the USA and General MacArthur, and General MacArthur changed many systems in Japan. But this time, without foreign pressures, we would like to change our society completely. We would like to change this city of Tokyo completely. I studied, as you mentioned, in the University of Paris, and one of the French governor that I respect much is Baron Osman. Mr. Baron Osman is the governor of Seine, Prefecture de Seine. Préfecture de Seine qui contient de Paris. Not a parti, but il est conservateur, but il voudrait. Non, donc il appartient de parti. Which language I have to?
English. And if the audience can let.
No,
speak, please.
the governor, Mr. Baron, in 19th century, changed drastically the city of Paris. If you look at the Champs-Élysées, the boulevard, big avenue, he did all these things, but he belonged to the, of course, conservative groups, and one of the one of the reasons why he created such a wide range of Champs-Élysées, not the beauty of the city of Paris, just protect the barricades of Paris Commune or terrorists. So this is his final. I have no intention to, protect the terrorists. I have the intention to protect the Tokyo Olympics by from the terrorists. But because why I respect this Baron Osman is he really changed the city of Tokyo. And Japanese politicians that I respect, one of the Japanese politicians, Goto Shinpei, after the 1923 earthquake, he really changed this city, and he proposed the as a bill, as a fiscal cost, the same amount of 1 year budget of Japan, total Japan. But of course, he could get 40% of the budget of Japan. And Showa-dori, near the Tokyo station. Showa-dori, Yasukuni-dori, Meiji-dori, that's Goto Shinpei he made. So, please, a gentleman who asked me now, please come to Japan after 6 years. All landscapes of Tokyo has completely changed. This is my ambition and dream. Thank you very much.
The gentleman behind you.
Thank you.
My name is Toshihiko Nagao. I'm a freelance journalist. I'm writing for Shukan Kyubi now.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to, about your responsibility about the Fukushima nuclear plant accident. Mr. Masuzoe-san, you have supported the promotion of the nuclear power plant.
Of course.
Now, so until the Fukushima accident.
Yes.
And then now, in this campaign, you promised to reduce them. So before that, I think you should apologize for the people in Fukushima Prefecture. And how do you think about your responsibility? This is an ethical question.
Thank you very much. Many people supported the promotion of nuclear plant, as you know. But my idea has completely changed when I looked at this disastrous outcome of the accident. So if you say some kind of responsibility, I was not at that time. I'm rather, like you, the freelancer journalist, and I support it, of course, because of the question of environment and the question of economic growth. I thought at that time nuclear energy is one of the good answer to face with the environmental problem and the sustainable economic growth. But of course, many people shares same idea at that time. But after 3/11, I have completely changed my ideas. So without this accident, maybe I should have been continuing the same kind of philosophy, same kind of ideas. But this is a turning point of my ideas. But well, in that time, I should say, well, I cannot foreseen this kind of disastrous outcome of problem. But of course, I know the accident of Chernobyl and 3 Mile Islands. But as far as I checked myself, I'm not a technician of nuclear plant. But as far as I saw and I visited these plants, compared with Chernobyl, compared with 3 Mile Islands, I was at that time confident that ours are much more safer than these plants. So because of this consideration, I conclude that it's okay, and I support it. But now, my idea is that already I mentioned this press conference. So what I should say is I could not foresee all the outcome. I should have I should have apologized to people that I cannot postpone. Okay, or foreseen, I mean.
The lady here.
Yuka Hayashi for the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street
Wall Street
Journal.
Journal, yes.
Masuzoe-san, you have a lot of experience in dealing with issues related to the aging of the population.
Yes.
I wonder if you could discuss your vision for how you would prepare for the aging in Tokyo.
Yes.
Until now, the Tokyo has sort of escaped the blunt of the aging of the population because young people have continued to move into Tokyo. Mm-hmm. But the portion of the population who moved into Tokyo during the fast growth period in the 60s and 70s are now going to get...
my generation.
They become senior citizens, and it's going to put a lot of burden on the resources of the city. If you could discuss how you would balance your goal of making Tokyo the very most attractive place to invest for foreign investors, while meeting this very costly need to take care of the aging of its population. Thank you.
Thank you, Bennett.
Sorry, may I remind you have 3.5 minutes.
Yes, okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. There are many policy proposals that I can make, but because of the time shortage, I briefly explain. Of course, not only metropolitan level, but also the governmental level, fiscal problem is one of the big issues. That's because we increase the consumption tax. But fortunately, our city is very wealthy. And what I'd like to do is total plan of caring the aged persons. And not only fiscal point of view, I'd like to recreate the community. And community members really take care of the aged persons. Now, aged persons are brought to the nursing homes or other kind of facilities. But without going there, we can support them in their community, neighbors, and all the people who are living in this area. This is one of the idea to reduce the fiscal burden. But the problem is now I'd like to change the politics, not only national level but metropolitan level, from the point of view of the women. ladies, those women who would like to continue their work and having children and taking care of aged parents, there are many, many barriers. I'd like to, drop out these barriers one by one. For example, to the children. Now, 8,000 children before the schooling age, the 3, 4, 5, are waiting for, to enter the facilities to receive these children. So I promise to the people of Tokyo, in 4 years, no child have to wait for in order to enter this, kindergarten, etc. And also, there are many, many aged persons who suffer from Alzheimer, like my mother. There is no nursing homes because the reason is the price of the soil is very, very expensive real estate. But Tokyo government has many, many places, soils. So we can provide with very low cost to the people who want to make nursing homes and kindergartens, etc. So this is one of the ideas that I'd like to make. There are many, many ideas. But anyway, out of 100 fiscal cost for the social welfare, 70% of the cost is for the aged person. Only 30% is for the people who are working now and before the retirement. So I'd like to change this figures 50-50. That is my target, and we'd like to, anyway, not only social welfare problems, but fiscal problems, very, very important. But in 30 minutes I have to change, so I'll stop. But please vote for me. Then when I become governor, please come to my office. I'll give you 1 hour to discuss this question. Thank you.
Okay, we've run out of time, I'm afraid, so no more questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Competitive speech and response.
どうもありがとうございました。Thank you very much indeed. Merci.
Please, everyone, remain seated while Masuzoe-san leaves. I just have one more thing to do.
Yes.
And that is give you an honorary 1-year membership.
Thank you.
So if you do become the governor, please come back and visit us, or even if you don't, come back and visit us again.
Yeah, but thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
I'd like to come back to this place as governor of Tokyo. Thank you very much. どうもありがとうございました。今から戦に出ていきますんで。どうもありがとうございました。失礼します。どうもありがとうございました。